Hey, how's it going? I am Ryan Russo, and I have sold over $191,000 worth of custom high ticket websites. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about niche websites or niche websites, however you say it, versus general websites, pros and cons. We're going to go over the pros and cons for niching down in business type and then niching down in website type. And I'm going to give you the brutal, honest feedback for both. Everything has pros and cons, but I will get into everything without hiding or holding back any secrets. So this channel is built for graphic designers. I teach graphic designers how to sell high ticket custom website design and add that to their services. You don't need to know any coding, development, or anything. Why do I teach this? I'm confident I can add 5 to 10K to your business. I hope to make money one day doing this, and I want to meet more people. All right. This video series, this is video 7, day 7. And the last one, I went over all of this stuff. And in the future, I'm going to go over all this stuff. All right, let's move on. Okay, so just as a quick reminder, there's 2 ways to add websites to your current stack or current offering. You can have a referral partner like me. A lot of clients refer me. I give a percentage of the project that they refer. They can make 1 to 3K per month, easy, incredibly easy. All you do is send an email and refer out, and you can make money immediately. Or you can subcontract websites to make an extra 5 to 10K a month. I still think it's easy. It takes a little bit longer. You need to learn a bit. It's very easy overall, and that's what I mainly focus on this channel. All right, let's get into the pros and cons of niching down. Okay, so first off, there's 2 ways that people talk about niching down. One is work with a certain type of business. So you're going to do landscaping websites only, or you're going to do contracting websites only, whatever. We'll talk about those first, the pros and cons of niching down. And then we'll talk about the different website types. So whether you should stick to WordPress or Framer, or do e-com and not e-com, if you want to do whatever, any type of website, and if you should niche down or not in that. All right, so let's get into the business type. So if you are going to stick to only doing landscaping websites, let's just say, there are a lot of pros to this. So your marketing is much easier because all of your ads say the same thing. Your website says the same thing. Your landing page says the same thing. Your sales call always says the same thing. It's just, hey, I do websites for landscaping companies or whatever the niche you choose is. So it streamlines everything, and then you are seen as kind of the pro in that area. Because you're the pro, you can charge a higher ticket. You can say, hey, I have a standard model for landscapers that includes A, B, and C. This is the one package I have, or I have 2 packages. Here's the pros and cons of each package. And you can charge a much higher rate being the specialist. It's not a general doctor, it's the eye surgeon type approach. You can charge a lot more. The websites you produce will be better. You'll actually give a better product because you've built it so many times. You can do different designs. You can template it out if you want. I should probably add that. You can templatize some parts of it or the whole thing if you want to, but ultimately they get a better product because you're building the same product 100 times. You're going to improve it probably every time you build it. So by the time you get to 100, you have a really good product. You can build streamlined SOPs that target the exact keywords of that industry, the exact types of pictures for that industry, all that good stuff. Everything is seamless and integrated and standardized. You can be a one-of-one offer because you're the landscaping website guy. So, everybody else kind of just says, hey, I do websites for anybody, but you are specialized in that area. So they will find you, and they probably are Googling for, landscaping websites specifically, and you can be that guy. The pricing for it is easy because you're selling the same thing over and over and over again, or at least close to the same thing. The case studies that you'll have will all be landscapers, which helps with your sales process, which makes it easier to sell. And then just being the guy that solves that specific one problem in landscaping makes it easier to sell. And then, like I said, you can templatize the website if you want to. All right, so let's talk about some cons for this. Oh, the one thing I want to mention before I get to cons. If you decide to niche down, I would do some homework in the niche before you get into it. You really, really, really need to do this, and everybody skips it, and that's fine. It's kind of a pendulum. Some people, they study it to death, and then they never actually do anything. And other people, they pick one and start, which is what I did when I started my business. I picked one and I started. And you should know a little bit about what you're getting into, what types of prices that business normally pays for websites. If these businesses, generally speaking, are successful and have cash flow and want to invest in websites or don't. If these businesses are recurring revenue or one-time revenue, these things are important for you to know so you can price properly, and then, of course, choose which industry to get into, which ones are better and which ones are worse. And then, sorry, last thing. Niches that a lot of people target are like landscaping, contractors, things like that. But if you can find a niche that is not popular and you can target that niche, like pet dental cleaning or something like that, that would be that would help you if you decide to run ads towards that niche, because there's so few people that are targeting that niche that you can be the one of one, you can be the only offer, you can be the best offer in that niche pretty quickly. All right, so some cons. You can't accept work from anywhere. So if you have a big network, or you have local network, you have friends, if you're just the landscaping guy and your friend wants, a tennis coaching website, you might not get that deal, or you might not want to do that deal because it doesn't really add to your portfolio. It doesn't help move the business along. So you have to get very good at saying no. If you just do one thing, you need to focus on just doing that one thing and saying no to everybody else. This was very hard for me to do. So I started out niching down, which I think in hindsight, I definitely could have worked harder and made work. And then I switched to not niche down. Because I wasn't very good at saying no. I had a lot of people asking me for websites and I wanted to say yes and take their money. You really need to have dialed in marketing on this, and you really need to go hard on marketing, because if you don't, then you just are, an open industry, and you can confuse people. All right, so let's get into not niching down. So you'll take business from anywhere. So you can take on anybody that wants to give you money, which is great, especially if you have a network, if you are known in your community in any area, if you're in like local groups. That's great, because somebody says, hey, I need a website for my salon. Boom, you can do it. And you can make money today, because that can pop up today. Whereas if you only do landscape, it's a little bit more difficult. I said the marketing is much easier. Okay, so they kind of both have different ways of marketing, but if you can market to a specific area instead of a specific type of website, you can have easier marketing. So if you just run ads to your local area, then you're competing with less people. If you can do all the websites, then you can capture a bigger portion of that area. If you are a national business and you just do landscaping websites, obviously there's targeting that works there. The marketing can work there as well. Okay, so I said you can lean into local, and then you can diversify your portfolio if this is interesting to you. If you want to do more advanced designs, you can get into that. You have businesses that want to pay you for really advanced designs, and your portfolio can end up looking really, really cool. Whereas if you just keep doing the same landscaping site over and over again, it's not that awesome. There are some cons. It's much harder to price this because every website's different. Every business needs different things. They need different features. They need different pages. All that stuff. It makes it difficult to price. It's also difficult to figure out what your client wants to pay or can pay, because you're in different businesses all the time. So you have to ask them things like, how much money do you make? How much money do you want to spend on a website? And then you get into those awkward conversations. Whereas if you just know landscapers and you know what they make, you know what to charge them already before you get on the call. It's harder to stand out if you just do everything. It is good if you just focus on one thing, like you're just the website person and you're not website plus PPC plus whatever. So if you can just do websites, that's good. Some people want a solution for all, but it is very hard to stand out if you're just like, yeah, I do everything. Well, everybody does everything. So niching down does help you stand out. So it can be difficult. You need to make yourself different in some way. For me, I try to make myself different with the process and the types of designs that I do, being more interesting. You can stand out with like different guarantees, things like that. You don't really have an ICP in this. It's just like if you own a business, you're ICP. If you own a business that can pay $5,000 or $10,000 for a website, you're my ICP, which does make it difficult. It's not impossible, but it does make it more difficult. Every time you sell a client, you're selling a new website. You have to learn about them. You have to get all the information about that business for them. You might not know things about that business. You're in like some like weird manufacturing company. You got to learn all about their manufacturing parts so you explain it right. And it's harder to make standard operating procedures for when you do something different every time. Obviously, like technical SEO has its own SOP, copywriting has its own SOP, but slight changes to those every time. All right, now niching down into website types. So I just do WordPress, Elementor websites. I don't do like the ecom websites. I don't do Kajabi courses. I don't do Framer websites, things like that. So if you niche down that way, I guess here's the pros and cons, but overall, you should do that. So you become an expert in your product that you're using. So when I talk about WordPress and Elementor, I know my stuff. So the clients can ask me anything they want and I understand it. Whereas if I had 5 different tools, I was trying to like just do everything for everybody, you get kind of caught up in that. You can't really be a pro. You can hire specifically for that product. So I talk about this in the hiring video from a couple days ago, how to hire. And you want to hire experts in that thing. So you don't want to hire somebody that builds any type of website. You want to hire the person that just does Elementor websites. You'll have a much better product. You only have to pay for one, like pay for my Elementor license. So if you have multiple, then you have to pay for multiple things. You have to figure out how to price multiple things and charge multiple things. And then, you don't have to learn ecom. I think ecom websites and all the other websites are just 2 separate things. So if you try to do everything for everybody, it just becomes difficult. Okay. Cons, you might have to turn away some clients. I have people asking me for Kajabi websites. I have people asking me for Shopify or WooCommerce websites, and you'd have to turn away those websites sometimes. But overall, tons of pros for this, not many cons. And similar for just not doing the websites. Like you can take on more clients. That's it. There's too many cons for this. You don't want to use any website. You don't want to be able to build with any tool. So, all right, that was the video for today. Next videos, we're going to go over contracts, invoicing, exact process. If you have any questions, put them below and I will answer them. And yeah, watch my previous videos. I'm just dumping all of my knowledge into this YouTube channel. Even though I don't really have any followers yet, I'm doing it anyway. So give me a subscribe, a like, a comment, and I will keep making these for you. All right, thanks.